always start out with a simplified drawing. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it helps you to kind of visualize how everything's going to attach.
This has been something that I've always wanted. Some guys dream about Lamborghinis and cars, and I'm a simple man. I dream of water features and reptiles. So make a gift of the snowy river. Wow! Look at that. Wow! That's good. All right, that's one. Now it's the Pond Professor. I better see that in every video now. Look at that, dude.
That actually fits you, Ed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ed the Pond Professor here. I am coming to you from Aqualand, corporate headquarters, located in St. Charles, Illinois, which is also the water garden capital of the world. Today we are talking about a really cool upcoming collaboration over at Kamp Kenan. Now, you know Kenan. He's an incredible guy. He's got an incredible message. He's all about conservation. He wants to educate and teach people about incredible reptiles around the world, and he does it out of his facility down in Florida. This new project that we're talking about doing with him, a little bit different. This is for his Asian water monitor, Slinky. Slinky actually had a little bit of a run-in this winter. There's a huge cold front that came out of the north, out of Canada, had all of the United States locked down, bad weather, snow, ice, you name it, pretty rough. It went all the way down to South Florida, and they had record lows. For an Asian water monitor, that's deadly. Unfortunately, Slinky got caught out of his enclosure. His temperature dropped extremely low, nearly killed him. So Kenan obviously freaked out, able to resuscitate Slinky, get him back on his feet. But because of that, we started talking with Kenan. He's like, I need a whole new enclosure. I'm going to completely redesign his space. And I'm like, we want to help. We want to be a part of it. We want to go in there. We want to create a new water feature for Slinky because he's been living in an incredible enclosure. Don't get me wrong. It's been awesome. But it's not a fully functioning ecosystem. What we want to do is we want to redesign that entire space. So we want to create an aquascape ecosystem style pond for this Asian water monitor. He actually put another layer of complexity on top of it. He asked me, he's like, hey, is there a possibility of actually tying two enclosures together, so two water features, but only one pumping system and one filtering system? After thinking about it a little bit, I think I have a pretty good design here. So now it's just a matter of fine-tuning some of these concepts, sending all the materials out, and heading down to Florida to make this one a reality. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. The area that we have to work with is approximately 20 feet wide, 40 feet long. So Kenan's thought is to box it off and to have two 20-foot sections. So far, relatively straightforward. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to figure out the different spaces for these animals. Now, the animals up in this enclosure over here, those are going to be more of an upland species. It's not going to be a fully aquatic species. It's not going to be an Asian water monitor that really loves and is at home at water. All animals, as we know, need water. So by having different types of water availability for all those animals, really, really important. What I'm thinking of doing to maximize this space, thinking of maybe putting in a biofalls up here, probably oversize it. I'm thinking probably a 6,000. Again, once we start building things for animal enclosures, the waste products are going to change, and we want to make sure that water quality is pristine at all times. So I'm going to go with that bigger filter. The other thing I want to do is I want to kind of create a series of cascading pools. Now, we're not necessarily looking for big crashing waterfalls. There's really no reason for that in this application. We do need an elevation change though. So remember, when we're talking about ecosystem ponds, there's stuff living in the water. So it's living water. There's microorganisms, there's algae, there's fish, there's all types of aquatic insects. There's things that are consuming dissolved oxygen in the water. So by having that waterfall, we're going to ensure that we have high dissolved oxygen content going through the entire aquatic ecosystem. I'm thinking a couple series of cascading little pools, and I'm just going to have like little stream waterfall kind of connections, more pools coming down over into here. Thinking another waterfall here. This waterfall down here at the bottom is going to be the most important. because we're going to actually create a way for the water to fall through a layer of rock and gravel, fall through our aqua blocks, and then it's going to go into the next enclosure. So remember, this is the wall right over here between the two enclosures. So now once we have that water captured and moving, we're going to kind of create a free-form pond somewhere over in here. And one of the things that I want to kind of highlight is kind of this zigzag type of a pattern. So the reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to maximize the space with water. By having that crisscross, we're going from one corner to the other and then back across again. So we have a given space that we have to work with, and we want to have as much water as possible. These animals, these reptiles, love to bask on these large boulders, and that's because those boulders actually absorb heat. So we're going to have basking areas and things like that for the animals to actually warm up when it's cool out. We also want to have areas where they can actually cool off, and that's where the sand or soil comes into play. Now the other thing that we have here is down at this end is we're going to have actually an intake bay. The reason we're doing the intake bay is I don't want a traditional skimmer, and that's because Slinky is an aquatic swimming species. He's going to be in and around the water constantly. I don't want him going inside of the skimmer, even though he's huge. I mean, this animal's 6 foot long, but he could put his head in there or something like that, and I don't want to have any problems. So an intake bay is a very naturalistic feature that's going to allow that fast moving water to come in. So there's really no way for Slinky to get to the pumping system, and that's really the most important part of all of this. We're going to have a pump located over in here. I'm going to have my pump vault right in this corner. So now I could take my piping and I could run very, very quickly and efficiently from point A to point B. So from my pump vault over to the biological filter, I want to have the quickest run possible, the straightest run possible, to limit the amount of piping. And the reason I want to do that is when you start talking about a piping system, you have a pipe, water's flowing through it. That area where the water meets the inside wall of the pipe actually causes friction. That friction actually puts pressure on the pump. It slows it down. It creates turbulence and little things inside of that piping system, which actually puts back pressure on the pump. When we start doing that, it's going to decrease the efficiency of the pump. Because this is all going to be a big block wall, so actually he has to build all of this up. So this space that he's building here is going to be a large concrete block structure, and that's because it has to meet the Florida regulations and codes. So it's going to be a block wall construction. He's going to have metal enclosure going all the way around, almost like a fencing, I guess, all the way on the bottom of the pond, underneath everything, going up the side, so these animals cannot escape. Our biofalls actually has 2 bulkhead fittings. I'll show you some of these when we actually are doing the installation, but this is going to create a watertight seal. It creates like a compression. So it has 4 different main parts. It's got the body itself, which is threaded. There's like a gasket and a washer, and then there's a big tightening nut that actually puts everything under compression. This is designed to make watertight connections through a nice flat material. One of them is going to be used for the biological filter for the incoming water flow. The second one, I'm going to put a little piece of pipe coming right out of this back wall, and I'm actually going to put a valve over here. So what this is going to allow us to do is Kenan can come in a couple times a year, open this valve up, and what's going to happen, it's going to back flush that entire filter. I want to show you kind of this cross-sectional piece that I think is going to be our challenge. So I'm going to have a waterfall. So I'm going to show kind of just a natural piece of stone over in here. I'm going to show some aqua blocks on this side. So I'm going to have a couple different aqua blocks in here. So remember, these things create a structural void space underground, underwater, etc. This is our pond level over in here. Rubber liner coming in here. We have our heavy fabric and all of that stuff. And then we're creating a little ridge. And then we're going to have a pool. Little rock right here. So there's going to be water flowing over this, and it's going to fall down into the bottom. On top, we're going to have river rock and that type of stuff. Now my thought is the area between the 2 enclosures is going to get a fence or a wall of some sort. Not 100% sure exactly what Kenan's going to do there, but what we want to do is we want to set him up to make it easier. We're going to put some concrete block, we'll do some lumber or something like that sitting on top of the aqua blocks. This piece is actually going to eventually be the wall. So this will be kind of fencing or grating or something like that going up in here. But what I want to do is I want to set this piece up so everything is designed to work easily. So we're going to continue doing rock work in here. So that water is going to be flowing. It's going to cascade down through here. It's going to end up inside this aqua block. So the water level in the pond is actually going to be somewhere right in here. So there's going to be a log that we set up. This is going to be his grating. There's going to be another piece of wood attached here that he will put in with a series of screws to sandwich that piece together. So this little joint in between will actually be filled with river rock. So the reason I like this design is any debris that comes over the waterfalls, it's going to get swept over this waterfall and it's going to accumulate right here. So any large debris is going to get pre-filtered out by the river rock. If the animals try to get through, there's no way for them to get out in any direction. So they would have to go through all of this river rock, through the aqua blocks, through another layer of big boulders over here before they can get into that other pond. So by having this little section, fast moving water, cascade of waterfall coming over, this is going to act as our skimmer right in here. All that water is going to accumulate down in the bottom and then it's going to flow its way out. It's going to flow in between and around all of these boulders and it's going to go back into the main pond. So all that debris that I was talking about is going to build up kind of right in this little section. This is where that board is going to go across right over in here, and that's going to be the continuation of that structure. Any debris is going to kind of flow out in here and it's going to make its way back over to the pump vault. So I know that was a really long discussion on all this stuff, but I want to kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse into the processes, the thoughts that come into these different things before we actually put a shovel in the ground. So I've been designing and building water features since 1993, so it's 28 years of experience, thousands of water features around the world. So I've come into contact with a lot of different scenarios, but I always start out with a simplified drawing. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it helps you to kind of visualize how everything's going to attach. So that way, when I get on a job site, I'm not fumbling around trying to figure all these different things out. When I get to the job site, we're starting excavation. I know what we need to do. I'm going to lay everything out. I'm going to position the filters where they need to go. Then I can systematically go through all these little pieces throughout the entire process so it has a nice smooth transition all the way through from the first shovel in to the last shovel out. So again, I hope you enjoyed this stuff. Stay tuned. This is going to be one awesome project. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We are going to have a great time here at Kamp Kenan.
This has been something that I've always wanted. Some guys dream about Lamborghinis and cars, and I'm a simple man. I dream of water features and reptiles. So I'm pretty excited now that we're doing our fourth pond, and it's not going to be our last because I do have some other ideas.
I know you do.
I'm eternally grateful for all these CACs who show up here because it's your guys' artistry and hard work that really make these things happen. And I just want to say right off the bat, I am appreciative of each and every one of you guys that show up here. And I like that we have some new faces as well, which is pretty cool, man.
Absolutely.
I love it. It's a great community of people.
So the stuff that we're talking about doing right now for Slinky is going to be kind of a unique little design. Actually, you're going to have multiple animals now.
There are, yeah, that's what's changed. What I envision and what we'll talk about is there's going to be two 20 by 24 enclosures in the footprint of 40 by 24. How are we going to separate these animals, you know, because I don't want them to mix, but I want one water feature. And when he showed up, thankfully the brain in this man, he's done so many different water features that he had a great solution. I'm excited to implement this because I think it's going to look really cool. So we're going to have a waterfall and stream for these more terrestrial species, and then we're going to build a really nice size pond for our Asian water monitor Slinky. Ed came together and said, we want to do something special for Slinky, and that's what we're doing today.
And again, as a water monitor, we want to create a cool underwater habitat. We want to have a space for Slinky to kind of go down and hunt, see him down there looking, all the little cracks and crevices. Once we're all done with everything, then you got to go to work and you have to finish it. Universal Rock's going to get involved. They're going to do some really cool faux rock panels and things like that on the inside to really create an incredible environment for this really amazing animal.
I'm really excited because all you guys, of course, have donated your expertise in artistry. I've got some other friends that have helped us out with some interesting implements and tools. Really excited. Again, thank you guys. Thank you, Aquascape. This is now my 4th Aquascape water feature. It won't be my last, and I can't say thank you enough. It's just so awesome, man.